Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. I'm going to talk to you a little bit this morning about my first cross stitching of the day before I head out to the dentist. It's time for that cleaning. Anyway, I have two different stitches I have to do today because my bingo and my BRINGO did not line up today, and that's okay. For my bingo call, today's number was number 8, and on my board, I'm looking at it, sorry, and on my board, number 8 was a whip go call. Well, I finished stitching my whip go stitches for whip go, but that gave me 2 pieces to choose from, and I had worked on one of them recently, just really recently, which was the playing with jacks. So I went back to my ornament. So this is the one I'm working on right now. It is the Kringle's toy store. And when you last saw it, I had just started working on the outline of these windows and door down here on the bottom main level of the building. And then when I stitched on this morning, I put in 245 stitches. So those windows are getting filled in just a little bit. I have another color of the background done. I got the other color of red done on the soldier and the sled and the cover on the sled, which I think is a snowbank. But anyway, it's hard to see what that is, but I think it's a sled. And I have the beginning of the horse here next to the soldier. So just little bits and pieces of different colors. There's white in here, this the sail of a sailboat, and that little red one stitch there is on the flag. So there's part of a sailboat here, there's part of a sled here, a soldier here, a toy horse there. So it's just starting to fill in. I'm trying to do it color completing across here as I go. But it was great. It was enough for 245 stitches, so that was quite a bit. I haven't gone back and done any more outlining, back stitching yet. So I wanted to get, pardon me, the colors in here as much as I could to try to fill that in, and then I thought maybe I could do all the back stitching inside the building at one time. So there you have it. But it is definitely moving along, and I think it may be called again. So I'll have to look and see if I have it anymore on my BRINGO or bingo board, because that was actually called from bingo, not BRINGO. So now for BRINGO today, our BRINGO call today is for number 16. And number 16 says, a whip or a new start that you were inspired to start by someone else, and tell us who inspired you. Well, you've been seeing this a little bit, but it's Santa's Workshop. And Donna and Lori both talked me into starting it together. We all 3 started it. This is the one that I get tickled about because Lori, every time she stitches on it, says, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? She's going to be so thrilled when she gets this thing finished. But anyway, I get to pull out Santa's Workshop and put 100 stitches in it today. So I will hopefully do that later on this evening, because today, as I said, I have a dentist appointment. And then my friend Juliana called. She and her mom are going to be out and about doing errands today. And they've invited me to meet them for lunch and then go back to Juliana's house and cross stitch. So I pulled out a couple of easier things to stitch on than Santa's Workshop. And I'm taking those with me. So there'll be some extra stitching in today. And then I won't get to work on my Santa's Workshop until I get home this afternoon. But then tonight, I get the privilege of Zooming with Lori and Dee and Donna. They're my planning group, and we do our planning every month together. And this is our mid-month check in. We kind of stitch together, chat and talk. We may loosely talk about how our plans are going or if we've changed our mind about anything, but this is not the really intense planning call that we do. This is more of the visit call that we do. But that's tonight, and I'm so excited. So I have a great day ahead of me, full of stitching, with friends, lunch with friends. It's just a red letter day for me. I'm loving it. My husband is working today. He is a background actor. It's a hobby that he does. And he's actually filmed in probably between 50, 60 movies since he started doing this years ago. And today he is working in a city near us, not about 45 minutes from here. But he had to be there at 5:45 this morning. I just got a text from him, and it is now just after 9, and they have just started filming at 9, but he's been there since 5:45. But they have to do check-in and wardrobe and all that first. So anyway, I think that'll be a fun day for him. He hasn't done that in a long time. And but he did tell me today it's freezing cold, and they are filming outside. So they have buses for them to sit in on set, and they keep them running with the heaters on. And so they go in and they sit in the bus until they're ready for them, and then they go on set. Now, he's a background actor, so you've probably seen him in things and never known it because it's people walking by or riding their bicycle. He's done several where he was riding a bicycle. Or running, or, as a jogger, kind of things. Things he could do because he does them in his own life, and that made him a good candidate to be chosen for those movies. But it is a fun hobby. He's met a group of friends, that are local, fairly local to the area, around Atlanta area and up north Georgia and down all the way to Macon, Georgia. And they see each other on these sets quite often, and they get to know each other, and he's in a Facebook group with them. So it's a fun day for him too. He gets to see people he hasn't seen in a long time and chat and talk and catch up with them. And it's fun to see how movies are made, what goes into it. So I know he's going to have a great day today, but that means little Coco is here by herself today for most of the day. So I'm going to go to the dentist first because it is only 23 degrees outside right now. And I did let her outside to go potty, but I didn't want to walk her in this cold because, number one, it's too cold for her, and number two, it's too cold for me. But when I get back from the dentist, before I meet my friends for lunch, I'm going to come back by here, and I'm going to take her for a nice brisk walk and let her stretch her legs and get some energy out. And then I'll won't stay as long at my friend's house that I might have if Tommy were home. I'll probably only stay till, a couple of hours or so. So I can get back home with her and she's not by herself all day. So anyway, that's my day. I hope your day's going well. I hope you're having a great time, and I hope it includes stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. Well, before I call it a night, I wanted to share with you a little bit of stitching I got done today. When I got back from my friend Juliana's, I picked up my Santa's workshop, and I very quickly put in 121 stitches so that I could meet my requirement for BRINGO. And this is going to come out again later, so I just did the 121 stitches right in here on the table leg, and I called it enough for that for this time. Because while I was at my friend Juliana's, I pulled out a project I'm working on for my friend Cheryl for next Christmas. And it's Santa with Ann and Ted. And I finished his beard. I started working on filling it in while I was at my friend's house today. And I got about 283 stitches done at her house. And then tonight, I did the remaining stitches to total 784. and I finished his beard. So I'm very excited about that. That was a goal that I had. I wanted to finish his beard, and I'm very, very tickled that I did. So a very little bit of stitching, but it met the requirement for BRINGO. And then now I did a great deal of stitching on the one that is going to be the gift from my friend. And I'm putting it in the wrong bag, sorry. I'm putting it in the bag that's supposed to be for my Santa's Workshop. So hang on, let me grab the right project bag. This one I know is from my friend Cheryl because she collects Mickey Mouse as well. And so I thought how sweet to put this in a Mickey Mouse heart bag since it's for my friend Cheryl. But this was one of her Patreon pieces, and I think she's just released it now to the public. Santa with Ann and Ted. So you can see now I've got his whole head done. And now I'll start working on his collar, jacket down into the puppy, the bear and the doll. And I can start working my way down that way. So that'll be exciting. So quite a good day of stitching. A great visit with my friend Juliana and her mom. And then tonight I Zoomed with my friends Lori D and Donna. These are my planning group, but tonight was just to check in and see how we were doing and chit chat and catch up and stitch together, and that was great fun. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and we just finished up our Zoom call, and so I'm gonna put all this away and get ready for my stitching tomorrow. My BRINGO call for tomorrow is the one where we had to roll the dice to tell us how many motifs we had to stitch in a piece. And the piece that I had paired with that was my spring Quaker. So I could put one Quaker motif in for each of the roll of the dice. And I was really lucky, and I got one, the number one. So I only have to do one motif. I may do more than that, but I only have to do one. And I have not gotten the number yet on my bingo game, and that would take me too long to get. So I will wait and look that up after I get off of here and see if the two will meet up or not. But you'll know by tomorrow anyway, so I'll take it in. I will say goodnight, and I hope that you had a great day of stitching, and I hope that tomorrow brings you many wonderful hours of stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is the 16th of January. I had to look to check myself. It's Friday, and I want to talk to you a little bit about my prompt stitching today. I had a bingo prompt today and a BRINGO prompt today that did not coincide with each other. So a little more stitching to do today. My bingo prompt was to stitch on something patriotic. And so I decided that I had a patriotic start that I had barely started, just put a few stitches in it when I started it. And in fact, I had put so few stitches in it that I hadn't even made a card or made a record of it. It was as if it didn't even exist. And I got to looking at it and I thought, oh, I think I was trying to decide if I was even going to continue this. It's on 36 count, and I was doing it 2 over 2. And I wasn't sure I wanted to continue doing that I might want to do 1 over 2. But there's a picture at the end of it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. It's called America. It's by Rovaris. And the word is great, but then there's this beautiful picture over here. And I thought, you know what? I want that to be seeable. I want it to be nice and thick. So I decided I was going to keep doing it 2 over 2. And when I picked it up, I literally had a tiny, tiny start on the curl of that A. I think I had maybe this much done, maybe to those 2 rows. Anyway, I stitched the entire A. So I wound up stitching 100 and something stitches. Let me look. 180. I wound up stitching 180 stitches to complete the blue on the letter A. Now there are spaces in there for white because it's apparently going to be polka dotted. And then there's a star right here. So the next time I pick it up, I'll do the white in here and the star, and then I can start on the M. And then after you do the M, it goes into the red and white striped letters. But I think it's a lovely piece. And I really wanted to stitch it. And so I'm glad that I picked it back up. I'm glad that BINGO gave me an excuse to pick it back up. So that was great. I got this at the Silver Needle when I went there for a retreat last year with my friend Donna. And this piece was one of those remnants on their dollar table. So I got this piece for $1, 36 count linen. I don't know the color, but I love it. I think it's beautiful. And I'm really hoping that it all fits on there just fine. I hadn't thought about the ship being taller than the letters. I could have started it lower down. So it may be one of those where I get the word America stitched on there, and if the ship doesn't fit on here, it may have to be left off. But anyway, that works out okay. We'll see. So that was my BINGO stitching. But my BRINGO stitching, I did this afternoon after getting back from lunch with my hubby. BRINGO stitching was number 4, and that was a whip or new start that you had to roll the dice, one die, and you had to stitch the number of motifs that appeared on your die. I was very fortunate. I was rolling the die during a planning session with my friends Lori, Donna, and Dee. And Lori had said, Dina, roll for me. So I did, and she got 3, I believe. 3 or 5, maybe 5. I think the others got 3s, and I got 1. I was so lucky. Anyway, so I had identified, because I do this all the time, I say I'm going to stitch one motif on a particular pattern, and it's usually my spring Quaker. And I just finished a big motif. I had just finished this, which one? This one. I had just finished this one. So I thought, well, this is great because I have a couple of small things in here I can stitch. And I had already stitched this motif as well. So I had this little one and this little one I could do, and I have all these names in here I can stitch. So that's exactly what I did. I chose to stitch one of the small motifs right here, and I stitched the entire motif. So that met my requirement of 1 motif, but I didn't want to stop stitching there. And so I came over here and I did the name of this flower here. And then I came over here and I stitched this start to another big motif in the middle. And I stitched until I got 268 stitches in it. And then I felt like I could roll it up a little bit, you know, so now I can stitch this across here. Can start working on this part here. So this is where I'm at. I've started the top of this motif right here. This is stitched. That word is done. So I'm working my way across. I need to do this motif. That word is stitched. Then I'll do this motif. And then I'll do this word and this word. And then I can drop down and go back across this way. But we're getting there. But look at these big things that are left. This one, this one, this one. They're big. They're very large motifs. So they're not going to make it in one setting anyway. But I got a little bit of start on on that one, which was great. So met my requirement and more, and that's good. So now I can post it and I can mark that off my board and I'll be good to go. So what's next? Well, I told you I've got some prompts I need to work on. So I'm going to pull those out and look at them and pick one. And that's what I'm going to be working on this evening. Anyway, thanks for letting me share my 2 prompts that I stitched so far today. My America for my patriotic stitching and my Spring Quaker, which was the call for on BRINGO. I will obviously come back and show you what I do next, whether it's tonight or in the morning. But I hope in the meantime that you have lots of happy stitching. Good night. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina, and it is the 17th, I believe. Yes, January 17th. Hey, Coco. Coco's here this morning. I'm sorry you can't see her, but she doesn't like to be on camera. I'm not sure why, but she kind of shies away from it. Anyway, I had 2 prompts I needed to stitch for today. One is for my bingo call, and that was to stitch on a BRINGO. No, what was it? Yeah, it was to stitch on a BRINGO call. And my BRINGO call was to stitch on my cabin in the woods. And it was to stitch on a piece that you had 2 conditions. Let me look. Hold on. A whip or a new start, you had to frog. You have to frog on it, or has something green. So I chose Cabin in the Woods. It's definitely got different greens in it, especially down in here. I'm doing the Roxy Floss Co. conversion, and I will show you the green that I stitched with. And it's called Early Harvest. And what I did was very simple. There's several rows across the bottom of this piece under the house that forms this. And so I'm up here stitching these rows. And so I actually stitched with the color green. And I stitched 138 stitches because the roll of my dice, I was very lucky, was 1. I only had to do 100 stitches. But I actually did 138, and that allowed me to stitch all the way across again. So that second row on the bottom there is the green color that I stitched in to make that prompt. So yay, I got those done. I'm excited about that. Now, that was this morning's stitching. And I was real happy about that. But last night, before I closed up for the day, I decided to pull out something I just wanted to put more stitches in because it was in my 24 Hours of Cross Stitch acrostic. And it was Reindeer Games. And so this, oh, it's crooked on there. This is what it looks like. It's an Erica Michaels piece, and both patterns are on here, the drum and the game board looking piece. And I had decided to do this one because I thought that was so unique, and I liked that game board look, and we love to play games. And I thought that'd be fun to put in, up at Christmas if you have people over for games and stuff. I could put them up with my Royal Games 1 and 2 and have a whole game theme. It'd be great. So this is what I got done on it. I actually put in 328 stitches in this one last night because I stitched pretty late into the evening. But I wound up stitching in these 2 snowflakes and this one. I did the V, the X, and the E for Vixen. The I was there from Blitzen. And I left the N because on the pattern, it's got North Pole and Santa in red. And because I didn't do the elf in green, I thought I wasn't going to do any colors, but you know what? I think it needs a little color. So I think I am going to do the North Pole and Santa in the red, and December 25th in the green, the way they have it. I'm just not going to worry about elf because I didn't do it in green. I'm not going to go back and undo it. So I've got 2 little leaves to go here, and I'll be at the bottom right here. And then North Pole across here, which will start right here with the N on Vixen, right here, with the N on Vixen, and it'll go North Pole across here. And then I can move over. There are 2 snowflakes in here as well. So I need to probably do those 2 snowflakes and then start the word North Pole, and I'll be on the second half of the chart. This is all on one side, and then there's a second page that's this side. And this side seems to be smaller, but it's making progress. And as I had mentioned before, let's see, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reindeer, and then it's got a big reindeer for Rudolph. And I had left out one of the little reindeers up here because it was crowded, and I didn't like it. And so I want to put that little reindeer over here, and I'm going to put him right above the word Dasher. So there'll be a little reindeer, I think, right above the word Dasher in that corner. I may do it there. I could do it there, or I could do it, I'll show you what I'm looking at. I was thinking I would put it right above here, above Dasher. But because that S is kind of fancy and leans over into it, I'm wondering if I should put it in here instead. Like these are going up one direction. You know, should I put one in here and have this one to look just the opposite of those, like flip it and have it going up this way? We shall see. That would have room in there for it. So I've got room to do that. I don't have the snowflakes there. So I may do that. One of those places will have the other reindeer in it. And that'll give me all 8 of the reindeer. And then Rudolph is the big one down at the bottom. And I believe they even have him a red nose. The rest of them are black. So, black noses. So, anyway, this one's coming along. I got good stitching in it. I was happy to do that to meet the prompt for my acrostic. And so, now that means I've got my BRINGO call and my WhipGo call done for today that I need to post. And I need to go back and look at my January acrostic for 24 hours of cross stitch. And I have Shakespeare's Fairies and The Kind and Gentle left to do to meet that artful border acrostic for 24 hours cross stitch. Both of those are in my BRINGO board. So they're coming. They're coming up soon. So I will get those. I don't need to go ahead and do them ahead of time, which means I am free now to stitch whatever I want until the calls for tomorrow. So I think I'm going to pull out my Let Love Rain and put some more stitches in it because I'm really trying to push it to a finish, and there's a whole lot left to do. So you may get tired of seeing it, but I think that's what I'm going to do today. And I think that would be a good thing to do. So I'm in the mood to do it. I think I will do it, and put some stitches in it, at least some, and then I can see what else I might want to do. My husband and I have been invited out for dinner with friends of ours, and we're meeting them at 5:30 for dinner. So I won't get any stitching this evening or late night. So I want to get as much in this afternoon as I can. It's just after lunch, so I'll get busy and get some things done. So in the meantime, for you, it'll just be a few seconds, I hope. But anyway, happy stitching. I hope you get lots of stitching time today. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is the 18th of January. It's Sunday, and it's cold, hence the big jacket. My friend Cheryl gifted me this last Christmas, and I've only been able to wear it a couple of times because it is like wearing a blanket, but I have to let you see what's on it. It says, "Life is golden" with my doodle. Isn't that precious? Oh, anyway, Coco loves it when I wear it because it's so soft and she loves to lay on it, and cuddle with me. But I'm here today to tell you that my Bringo call and Bingo call turned out to be the same one today. Yay. That's nice for me on a Sunday because we go to church in the morning and we're not through, and I'm not ready to stitch till after lunch. Came home and cooked dinner and our lunch, and once I got the kitchen cleaned up, then I can come up here and stitch. So the prompt in the Bringo game was number 20, and it says, "A new start on a new to you designer, a designer you've never stitched before." So mine was Rovaris, and I have a picture of it here. Let me get that for you. This was one of my patriotic new starts, and when I started it, I had this little tiny part of the A there, and the first time I stitched on it, I finished the A. And so today I got busy and I stitched the M. So that's the 2 letters that are in blue with white polka dots. So now I have the A and the M done on America. And when I showed this last time, I realized I've got this scrap that I bought at the Silver Needle for $1. And I wondered, did I start it in the right place? Because at the end of this pattern, I had it upside down, sorry, there's a ship. And it goes below and above the word. So I had a moment of panic, but I went back and counted up how many stitches I needed room for, and I have it both below and above it, so it's going to be fine. And I'm thinking it's going to be a pillow, so I don't need a lot of margin, so it should be okay. But this is a scrap of linen that I purchased off the scrap table at the Silver Needle, and it is a 36 count 7 by 26 inches remnant from the Silver Needle. So 36 count linen, and I think the colors are popping on it beautifully, and there are very few colors in this. That's all, just a few, so that'll be interesting. So that concludes the stitching for Bringo and Bingo today. And now, I don't know why I put that up. I have to take a picture of it and post it. Now I have to post it. And then I can, again today, have free stitching time. So I mentioned that yesterday, that I had free stitching time. I was just going to do whatever I wanted to do. So pardon me while I reach and get it. But I worked on Let Love Rain, and I wound up putting in 795 stitches in it yesterday. I finished the house, y'all. I'm so excited. I finished that house. I got it loose. Let me tighten it up just a little bit. I've loosened it up since I'm not working on it. I finished the house. I had half of it done, so I finished the house, and I did this entire motif, which has several different colors of green in it. It's really pretty, and the bird on top. And so now, the next time I pick it up, I'll be ready to start the lady, the hearts and the man kind of in the middle. So I'm in the middle of the bottom row. Real excited about that. But I don't think this will be what I'm picking up today. I need to take a little break from it. So I'll have to think what I want to work on and pull something out and get busy on it, and I'll be back and share it with you later. But in the meantime, I hope you have a great day of stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. I want to just make a little reminder announcement. We are gearing up to play our Great British Bake Off game on February the 1st. And in case you would like to join in this year and haven't in the past, or in case you're coming back to play again, I just wanted to put this reminder out there that we will start stitching for our game for this season, which will be the US season 9. And I'm not sure what that is on the British TV, but I'll give you some of the names of the bakers so you can match it up if you'd like to. But because some of you may not have played before, I know that Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff created the game, and I think her stitching amounts were a lot higher than what we're doing. So I wanted to go through kind of how we structured it, how we run it. It's just for fun. It's just to put stitches in some of your projects. So the first thing you want to do is pick out 12 projects that you want to stitch on. If you don't have 12 projects, feel free to assign a project to more than one baker. If you have 6 projects, you can give a design to 2 bakers and you'd have it. But you can do the math and figure out how many of your whips you want to pair with a baker. And we go to great lengths to make them random in our little planning group that does this together. We've put pieces of paper in a jar and drawn it out for the bakers, or we do a random number generator, that kind of thing. You can do it any way you want. But the way we put the bakers 1 through 12 is how they appear in the video when their name appears written or printed on the screen, so that we know we're spelling it correctly. So they may talk to someone and call them by name many times before they print their name on the screen. And in season 9, it was a little tricky because in some cases, the first time you saw it on the screen was when they showed a recipe, or when they color out a drawing of what their design is supposed to look like that they're making, and their name is on it. I had to use that this time. But we have the 12, and we have them in order 1 to 12. And then we've randomly selected our whips and paired them up. So you got plenty of time to do that because we're not starting until the 1st of February. But I thought it would be good to go through what numbers we've assigned to what events so you would know if you want to think about doing it. For the person in the Great British Baking Show, they have 3 rounds of competition. So one of them is called a technical. And the person who gets first in technical, we stitch 100 stitches on the whip affiliated with that baker. And the one who came in last in technical, we stitch 50 stitches on that whip for that week. Star Baker is 125 stitches. The person sent home gets 75 stitches on that whip. And then if Paul Hollywood gives a handshake, whoever he gives a handshake to, you'd put in 150 stitches for that baker. There's not always a handshake. Now, if you total everything up, if it only happens once, if there's only one handshake, then it's 500 stitches in the week, spread over however many bakers that whips that you get paired with those bakers, because some bakers will get first in technical and star baker, and you just add those numbers together and you stitch on that whip. What we've done on those weeks where there's no handshake, we take those 150 stitches and add them to the whip that's affiliated with the baker that was sent home. I think it's pretty easy to figure that out because you won't be working on that whip for the game anymore. So we throw those stitches at that whip if there's no handshake. What if there's more than one handshake? Well, you have to stitch for all of them. If you really want to do it, play the game. So yes, on occasion, rarely, but on occasion, you will have to stitch for more than one handshake. And so it'll put you over 500 stitches by however many handshakes there are. There are 150 stitches each. Now, all of this information is in our Facebook group, which is the GBBO SAL group. Again, the Facebook group name is GBBO SAL group. And you can request to join, and then you'll have everything you need there. All 12 bakers' names are listed there. The values of each of the things are listed there. There's a tracking form that we've created for ourselves to watch an episode when we can just jot in the names of who gets what. I put mine on a spreadsheet at the beginning of each season, so I'm looking at it here on my computer. The 12 bakers, in case you're trying to match up which episode it is for British TV, are Maggie, Chips, Amanda, George, Christelle, Jurgen, Tom, Rochika, Freya, Lizzie, Giuseppe, and Jarzyn. So that's the order that we found them in. And a couple of us watched it to see if we came up with the same order, and we did. So that's the order we adopted. I have paired my whips that I'm going to stitch on with each of those bakers. We did that as a part of one of our planning sessions where we either used a decision wheel or we drew a slip of paper with, we put all the names in a bowl and drew out a piece of paper. And that's what I chose to do. And I have, I think, 3 or 4 left that didn't get selected. Those are my alternates in case I finish something during the course of the game. Then I'll substitute one of those in for it. So we would love for you to join us. In the Facebook group, you do not have to post anything if you don't want to. We like to post in there to show progress because we like to encourage each other, saying, well, that was great to do that. Or any questions that people have had. Did I miss a handshake or this or that? So come join us. We'd love to have you. We're going to start by watching the first episode of season 9 and doing the stitching for that starting the week of the 1st of February. If you get behind, just catch up whenever you can, if you want to, or skip to the week that you're at. Last year, both Lori and I tracked how many stitches we should have stitched based on the game versus how many stitches we actually stitched. Because once we got started on something, we didn't want to stop at 100 stitches or 125. We just keep stitching. And we took a record of that. And I think at the end of that, it was just over 5,000 stitches that you would have stitched in the 10 weeks, which makes sense since it's about 500 stitches a week. And I had stitched just over 8,000 and Lori stitched more than I did. So that was fabulous. That was an extra 8,000 stitches in my whips that I probably would not have put in otherwise because I was doing it for that game. So that's why I said we just do it to put extra stitches in our projects to see them move forward. I hope that you'll join us. Again, the Facebook group is GBBO SAL group. And just go in and ask to join and we'll be happy to add you in. And we look forward to starting the game with you on February 1st. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. This is Tina. It is January the 19th, and I am here to tell you a little bit about my extra stitching yesterday. I pulled out my An Ode to a Good Dog from Maximum Cross Stitch because I knew I wanted to get stitches in this because it's on my year of whips. And I knew I had a call with my friend Megan, and we were going to be chatting, and I could stitch on it while I was talking because I had a lot of fill-in to do. And boy, did I. Let me show you where I got to. Yay! So I filled in the entire roof, the 1/1 bird, and the grass in both colors from the bottom of the house all the way across to where the tall plant starts. So that gave me the spot to count off of for the next motif, and that's what I'll start on the next time I pull it up. It was a total of 650 stitches. So that was a good amount of stitching. I was really pleased with that. And I thoroughly enjoyed my catch up with my friend Megan, and I had a great evening. So that worked out really well. Today's call for BRINGO is to stitch on, my piece is Cabin in the Woods. So let me find here it is, number 12. You're supposed to pick a TV show of your choice, or it could be a floss tube, which for me is going to be a floss tube. And you're going to stitch while you're watching your favorite floss tube. And it has to be at least an hour, so that's not a problem. A lot of my floss tube friends go for an hour. Mine usually do, simply because it takes that long to show you everything I've done in a week. But I'll be doing that today and stitching away on Cabin in the Woods. So I'm looking forward to that, and in fact, I'm going to pull it out right now and get started on it. So hopefully I'll have more to share with you later today about the stitching that I'm doing this morning. So I'll talk to you soon, and in the meantime, happy stitching. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Today is Monday. It is the 19th of January. I've got a thread there on me. Today, I want to share with you my stitching for BRINGO this morning. I had put Cabin in the Woods as my choice for the prompt that we had for BRINGO today. And BRINGO's prompt today was to watch one of your favorite TV shows or floss tubes for 1 hour. And you were to stitch for that hour and show what you were able to get done. And Cabin in the Woods is the one that I had chosen for that. And as it turned out, my BRINGO call was also on my bingo as the choice for the bingo of the day was to stitch on whatever was BRINGO. So this got both of them, which was wonderful. So I pulled up Two Tall Stitchers, floss tube number 81, which is the one they just put out. And it was an hour point so many seconds. I mean, it was great. It was perfect. And I watched it while I stitched. And I got another row done, 138 stitches. So now I have 3 rows at the bottom under the house. And that's wonderful because now I'm going to get down into all the flower part. So I've done the first 3 rows. Now I will probably go through and stitch the little flowers all the way across, and then I'll fill in underneath them, and then I can start working my way up. So it's a good, easy way to get stitches. I know that it's 138, so whenever it's a bingo call or BRINGO call, it only needs 100 stitches, but this time it was time, not stitches. And it just happened that I was able to get it done in that hour, so that worked out really well. So happy about that. I now am about to pull out a new start. I'm in a group called the Determined Stitchers, and it's just a chat group that we encourage each other. We make goals for the year, and then we break them down into monthly goals. But this time, we decided just to have a start along, and it could be any pattern you want that is stitching themed. And so I am going to do Stitching Row. I think it's a Bent Creek pattern. And I think my friend Donna is going to start it with me. We talked about it, and we recently reminded each other about it, but she's working today, so I don't want to bother her and ask her, are you starting this today? But that's what I'm going to be pulling out now and getting a good start on my stitching row with my Determined Stitcher group. So that'll be the next thing you get to see. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you get a lot of stitching done. And I'll talk to you soon. Happy stitching. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. Oh, it is the 20th of January, and I'm here to talk to you about my stitching. Well, yesterday evening, I had a Zoom call, but I also had a new start that I needed to do. I'm in a group, I've mentioned before, the Determined Stitcher group, and I was to start a cross-stitch project that had to do with the theme of stitching, cross-stitching. So I chose Stitching Row by Bent Creek. This was one that Donna and I had talked about starting together in the coming year. And she was planning on starting it with us on the 19th, but she's been just floored at work and did not have the opportunity to have a new start. So she'll do it later. But I decided to have a middle start on mine because I'm stitching it on a remnant. This is a little remnant off the bottom of my Autumn in the Village. I cut this off the bottom so I would have it long enough for this piece. And I started in the middle, and then I started working my way back to the beginning of the alphabet. And then when I get that done, I'll go on the other side and I'll stitch all the way to the end of the alphabet. But this little Q-snap worked perfectly, so I've kept it in here because I want to work on it some more as soon as I can. I thoroughly enjoyed the new start, and I would like to get more work on it in the near future. So, 578 stitches. I'd say that's a pretty healthy new start, and that happened as a result of us having a Zoom call last night, and I just kept stitching the whole time we were talking. So that worked out beautifully. Now, today's BRINGO call and bingo calls were Let Love Rain. And the reason they were Let Love Rain was totally separate reasons. My bingo call with my local group was to stitch on a monthly requirement. And that monthly requirement could be any one of the ones that I listed out for my monthly requirements with my Determined Stitcher group. One of those monthly requirements was to put 500 stitches in Let Love Rain, which I did. But my BRINGO call for today was to stitch on a project with a bird in it. Well, this has several. So I thought, well, that meets both of them. Let me go ahead and work on it some more. So there you can see I did the bird on the last motif that I did, and now I have started on the woman. There's part of her skirt. There's a lot of fill in there. I actually stitched 208 stitches in it, and I'm going to take a picture of it and post it now, and that will hit my requirements for today's bingo and BRINGO. I got a very late start stitching today, so I didn't get a whole lot of time. So today was just a busy day, just doctor's appointment and blood work, and then I had brunch with my husband, and then I had haircut, and then I had my first day back at the gym since I was injured on my cruise. So that went remarkably well, and they were all surprised to see me. They didn't know I'd be back so soon, and I was thrilled to be there. My trainer did take it a little easy on me today and back down the weights I've been using to back what I started with in the beginning. And so I go back Thursday, and I don't know if he'll up them a little bit or if he'll give me another day of reprieve on that, but I feel great. It didn't hurt my back, and so I'm very excited about that. Now, tomorrow's calls for bingo and bringo are, tomorrow's call on my local bingo group is another monthly requirement. So it could be this one again, or it could be my full coverage ornament, or it could be one of a couple of other pieces that I identified. I think three, the Wise Men was one of them, and one other. But my Bringo call for tomorrow is, I believe, number 2. Pardon me as I turn over my notebook and show it to you. Yes, number 2. It's a whip or a new start that reminds you of growth. Now, I had put on my Bringo board when I wrote out what projects I wanted to use that I wanted this to be a new start, and I wanted it to be tutor bee, because you need bees to help pollinate your plants to help them grow. And that's how I was pulling that together. So I think I'm going to leave it at that and have a new start, even though I just had a new start. One new start was for a group new start, and this new start was what was Bringo was calling for. And the reason I want to leave it that way is that at the beginning of the year, I listed out on my spreadsheet all the new starts I wanted to do for the whole year that were not patriotic, not part of that process I'm doing, but they were in my want to be started last year, and I didn't get to them. So this is one of those. And so I will hopefully, Lord willing, start Tutor Bee tomorrow. So I'm going to have to stitch on different things for those two people, for those two prompts. So I may continue, since I've got this skirt started on Let Love Rain, I may just go ahead and do that again for my, monthly requirement stitching. And if not, I will pull out my full coverage and stitch on that, since it was a monthly requirement. But this one's sitting right here and it's ready to go. So it'll probably be this one. And then I will start my Tutor Bee. So looking forward to that. Absolutely looking forward to that. So I hope that you are participating in events if you like them, and if you are participating in Bringo, I hope you're keeping up with it if you can. If not, catch up. You've got time. There are times at the end of the month, even the days after the 25th, that you have, I think that's 6 days you have to catch up after that. I am starting to look at next week, because Bringo's over on the 25th, but we're leaving town on the 28th. And then the monthly magazine challenge group has a new challenge for February. And they want you to put in 500 stitches in one of your projects. And it's about the Groundhog Day. So if the groundhog sees his shadow, you work on a project you call a dark project. And if he doesn't, and we're going to have an earlier spring, you work on a light project. 500 stitches, whichever one happens. So I have already posted in the group declaring that if we get the light project, I'm doing Let Love Rain. It's on light fabric and it's for summer, so it's bright. And if it's not, if it's the dark project, because we're having longer winter, I'm going to pull out Cabin in the Woods, because it's on that really dark fabric and it's meant to be, a kind of a night piece. And so those are the two that I'm going to have with me, and I'm going to have to take them with me on my trip, depending on what happens, because I think you have to stitch on it by the 8th of February. It's in the Facebook group, though. You should go look under the events and find it, the Magazine Monthly Challenge group on Facebook. So I will be gone through the 4th. And so that's some days that I would be able to stitch on whichever project I take with me that gets selected. So I may only take those 2. I don't know. But anyway, I'm looking forward to our trip. We get to visit with our son for about 4 days, I'm hoping. We'll have our Christmas together. And then, of course, we'll just, enjoy the time. I think he's going to work on his taxes because he's got his W-2s, and my husband, he did it on our computer last year while he was here visiting, and so all of his tax records are there on that computer. So my husband's going to take the laptop with him and let him do that. So that'll take, part of a day, and they've got bikes they're going to take again and bike rides. So I think we're going to have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow, I have a friend coming to stitch with me. My friend Juliana is going to come stitch with me, and we're going to have lunch and then stitch the afternoon away, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you make plans to stitch. This weekend is the 24 Hours Across Stitch Marathon, and we're expecting ice and snow here in Gainesville, Georgia. And if that happens, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be stuck at home, and I'm going to be stitching. So this might be a good weekend for me to participate in a marathon. It just might. So I'm seriously considering that. I need to make some plans. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying your stitching as much as I enjoy mine. It brings so much joy to me, and I just feel like I'm being creative, and I feel like I'm being productive. I really love my needlework, and I enjoy sharing it with you and hearing what you're working on. I thank you so much for your lovely comments. And until I have more to share with you tomorrow, hopefully, happy stitching.
Killer, you're a killer.